COVID-19 pandemic chronology video for today, Tuesday, 17 January 2023, is I am continuing pandemic picture writing and publishing work on Wikipedia, same focuses as yesterday, different tasks. So I finished the tasks for both the Sarah Sjöström and Matteo Santoro projects that I wanted to get done yesterday. I got them done. And so I'm on to new tasks today. So for Sarah Sjöström, on English Wikipedia, the page already exists and I'm adding a few more missing medals today. That's my task. And I successfully added the 4 from the 2016 European Aquatics Championships yesterday. So a conclusion to that update yesterday. And then I am writing a new article, Matteo Santoro, and I successfully finished the info box, intro, background, and international championship section yesterday and started in on references, which is one of my tasks for today, is getting references for the article and writing a section on one of the person's competitions from 2021 and 1 to 2 of their competitions from 2022. So that's writing. I'll write today, write tomorrow, and possibly publish tomorrow or the day after that. If I finish it and the page has not, another person has not made the article on English Wikipedia. So that's Matteo Santoro. So that's my big COVID-19 pandemic update for today. And then I guess a tangent is I live in Washington State. Americans, I would say maybe 80% of Americans struggle with remembering that Washington State is a state. And when enough people struggle to remember the name of a state, I was like, why? Because a lot of people just call it Washington. So then people are like, oh, DC. And I'm just like, no, Washington State. And so the number of corrections I've had to, number of Americans specifically who get it wrong is slightly insane considering it's one of the 50 states. And so I wholeheartedly support the renaming of Washington State, or Washington is Washington State, and the abbreviation of the state being WS. That is actually already in use and has been in use longer than I've been alive by the Washington State Department of Transportation, whose acronym is WSDOT, so Washington State, WS. So it's nothing new for those of us who live here, especially those of us who live in the Puget Sound area and have ever used a ferry boat. So in and out of Seattle is the Washington State Department of Transportation ferry. Those are all WS, not WA ferries. So I support that. That's kind of the mild version. Seattle itself there's a bit of, should we rename the state? Should we rename King County? Martin Luther King is 0 parts Native American. He's just as an oppressive name as George Washington. So it'd be great. Seattle, however, comes from a Duwamish chief, Chief Sealth. So there's in terms of racial discrimination, so I'm part Duwamish. So in terms of racial discrimination against, or I should say, I am Norwegian. My ancestors are Duwamish. So if somebody says they're from Ireland and they were not born in Ireland, they're not Irish. Their ancestors are. Reality check. And so my ancestors, I have ancestors who are Duwamish, and which is the tribe, the land on which Seattle is built is Duwamish land. Native Americans, not Indians who came over, like people from the continent of India or Asia who came over on land bridge. No, they originated in North America, true Native Americans. And so one of the things is it would be nice for all of the United States of America to go pay respect, be respectful of the people whose land they're living on. African Americans tend to be the most disrespectful and most oppressive in my personal experience as viewed from my Native American ancestry. And the kind of discrimination I've felt in them and Latin Americans who, like to say they're from South America, but really their ancestors came from Spain, so they speak Spanish, or their ancestors came from Portugal, so they speak Portuguese. That kind of thing. So, yeah, King County being renamed as Seattle County might be more appropriate, just as the renaming of Washington State as Seattle would be more appropriate. So, but those are just my 2 cents. It's a tangent.